My lip gloss rolled all the way down under my cabinet. And that's what happens when you buy an old house. Slanted floors. Everything rolls. Hello, my cute and creepy friends. Hi, it's been a couple of months. I hope everything is looking, sounding okay. This is the first time I have sat down to record anything, and I am on a very tight schedule because my husband is watching child downstairs, and he's been having not a great time at night, so that's been very stressful, but it's fine. I wanted to wear something a little bit more Halloween-y. I love it when I say Halloween-y. But I chose this because orange, green hat, orange sweater, pumpkin. I feel like Jim Halpert would wear this as a pumpkin costume.
What are you supposed to be? Three-hole punch version of Jim.
You guys, it's halfway to Halloween. It's crazy. It always goes so quickly, but also so slow. Like, winter is such a weird time. When you're in the thick of it, it goes like 2 miles an hour. But then when you're on the other side, you're like, what? Oh my gosh, it's almost summer, and then fall just comes like that. And I just wanted to say thank you to Happy Haunts Library for making this idea, and I love that it's open to everyone. So if you are seeing this as well, I am tagging you automatically. You go make your video. Even if it's May, it's fine. Just go make your video. Anyway, so the first question of the tag is, are you a fan of haunted houses? Yes. I kind of like broke this down into 3 possible answers. I am someone that would love to do like urban exploring and be walking in the woods one day and just come upon an abandoned house. The only thing is that I'm not so scared of ghosts. Like, ghosts scare me, but like real people actually scare me. I don't want to come upon a stranger in the middle of the woods. Now, going to an actual like haunted house, staying the night, like a nice place, not an abandoned place, I would love to do that. It's on my bucket list. I really want to do it with my husband because my husband is such a skeptic. So I feel like he would just be like the whole time while I'm like,
are you evil? Once for yes, 2 for no.
It would just be fun to see his reaction. And then the third part of this, haunted houses as far as like an attraction, like Hollywood Horror Nights, love them. It's like kind of the only form of adrenaline that I partake in. I don't do anything like mountain climbing, skydiving, anything that's like remotely dangerous. So haunted houses, haunted mazes, having a clown jump out of the woodwork and scare the crap out of me, I freaking love it. Now, I will tell you, I hate it in the line. I will be shaking and like, let's leave, I want to go home. But then when we're in the car going home, I'll be so mad at you that you didn't make me stay in line. It's like, you know, when a character is like, lock me in that room and do not, no matter what I say, let me out of this room.
No matter how terribly I may scream, do not open this door.
That's how I am with the haunted mazes. I just, it's very fun, but in the moment, I'm weeping. What is your favorite ghost story or haunted lore? This one was really tough for me because if you follow my TikTok, which right now it's like a ghost town, but if you followed my TikTok, that's like all I talked about over there. I don't really do crafts. Occasionally I do, but over on TikTok, I mainly do storytelling, folklore, urban legends, stuff like that, anything spooky. And I've come across a lot of different stories and I have so many in my brain. But if I had to pick, triangles. So what I mean by that is The Bermuda Triangle is very cool. It's very interesting, but I'm talking about the Michigan Triangle and the Bridgewater Triangle. A lot of bizarre and really creepy things happen there that are unexplained, and it's just so fascinating to me. So with the Michigan Triangle, there have been so many random disappearances that are bizarre. A plane, a ship, and then a man. Those are the three ones that are like very famous. Oh wait, no, there's two men. The first is a ship called the Griffin in the 1600s. It was a fur trading ship. It was sailing on over to Kingston and it just disappeared. It literally just disappeared. The people expecting its arrival, because it was, you know, a trading, they were going to trade. They were like, where's the Griffin? I don't know. Never found any wreckage, never found bodies, nothing. And even like searching for the ship now, because, you know, the 1600s, that they didn't have technology to do that. But later on, they have not recovered the ship. In 1937, George Donner, who was a captain of a ship, I don't remember where they were sailing, but George was a captain and he was like, I'm gonna go take a little respite in my captain's quarters. Goes in there, locks the door from the inside. Once they were coming up on arrival to their destination, the crew go to the cabin, knock on it, jimmy it. It's locked. They can't get in. They bust through the door. George is gone. He's not sleeping. He's not hanging out reading a book. He's gone and was never found. Once again, he just disappeared. And there wasn't anything like the window was open or there was like an outline of a man smashed through a window, like he jumped out. Like there was no signs of George abandoning ship. He was just gone. Then in 1950, flight 2501, a flight of like 58 passengers or something, it was a smaller plane, was flying over Lake Michigan and poof, disappeared. The people that were talking with them, communicating with them, they didn't hear any crashing, nothing like that. They just lost communication. The plane disappeared. No wreckage, no bodies, nothing. Now there has been like rubble, I guess. There has been some parts of the plane that have washed up on the shores of Lake Michigan, but I was reading and like it wasn't confirmed that that was flight 2501. And if I'm mistaken, if it was confirmed, I know that they have not found like the plane. They've just found like bits of like metal pieces and this and that. So they have not recovered the plane and they have not recovered any bodies. It's just so weird. Like how does that many people go missing in a lake? And then the last story is probably the most bizarre. In the 70s, a student, Stephen Kubacki, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. He went on a cross-country skiing trip. Lake Michigan was frozen, and Stephen goes missing. He never arrives back at school, home, whatever. People notice that he's missing. When they investigate it, they found footprints of his, as well as gear, like skiing gear, that led up to the shore of Lake Michigan. And then that was it. It stopped. And there was no ice broken where they found his gear and his footprints. He just up and disappeared. I'm not done yet. A year later, Stephen shows up with no memory of what happened. He has no memory of where he went, how he went missing, nothing. What? When I was researching it, I found that he's writing a book or something, like something about his story, and it was like, Stephen is ready to tell his story. He knows exactly what happened, and you'll find out in this upcoming book. So I don't know if any of you have read the book. read his story, let me know. The Great Lakes in general are so bizarre. I could talk about the Great Lakes for a very long time, just how creepy they are, how many ships are at the bottom of them. Anyway, the Bridgewater Triangle is an area in Massachusetts, which I absolutely love Massachusetts. It's so spooky. And within the triangle is the Hockomock Swamp. The Wampanoag tribe gave that area of land that name because it means the place where the spirits lie, which that just says it all right there. There have been UFO sightings, there have been orbs just kind of flying around. There have been so many sightings of really bizarre creatures like Bigfoot, of course, and what are they called? The smaller ones? Pukwudgie. It's called a Pukwudgie. I just remembered. The podcast Lore actually does a really great episode on this whole topic. But yeah, so that swamp, very spooky, very haunted. Lots of creepy, spooky things have been seen in that area. Do you plan on Halloween decor hunting this year? Absolutely. I can't wait. I'm just Joann's. I'm so upset. I'm genuinely so upset about Joann's. It was one of my absolutely favorite places to Halloween hunt, and it's gone now. So I'm still gonna go. I'm still excited. I'm gonna be very careful with money being spent. And I know a lot of us are being frugal with our money. We're also being very careful of what companies are getting our money. I am still on the lookout for the frickin' Frankenstein planter. I wanted that guy last year. Hopefully I can find him this year, but that's usually how it works. When something is super huge one year, then it's like when no one cares anymore, and it's like, oh, yawn. Like, then I find 50 of them. You know, beyond that, I'm just ready to look. I'm ready to look, take you guys with me, get a coffee, and just have fun looking at decor. Does not mean you have to buy a single thing when you're Halloween hunting. And then, of course, obviously, thrifting, antique shows, flea markets, all of that. That's honestly the most fun, is looking at old, dusty things. Candy corn, love it or hate it? I think it's the sugariness. It's the way that candy corn is like made up. It's like a block of sugar. It's a cone of sugar. The flavor of candy corn is lovely. Like, I love little drinks that are flavored, you know, candy corn. Okay, a great example. I went to an orchard with my husband and they had candy corn gummies. Yeah, candy corn gummies. They were like huge and they were like soft and pillowy with candy corn flavor. I inhaled that entire box. Like, it was, oh my God, they were so freaking good. So I think the anger needs to be targeted at what the candy corn makeup, what the candy is, and the texture of the candy and the heaviness of it. And I think I can have like maybe 3 candy corns and then I'm over it. But love the flavor. Are you big into costumes and dressing up for Halloween? If so, what's your favorite costume of all time? I am a huge fan of costumes. I am so jealous of people that cosplay for a living and do like incredibly elaborate costumes and can sew. I would do so many fun costumes if I knew how to do all that stuff, which I can learn. Of course, if I really, really wanted to, I could totally learn that stuff. But I think my favorite costume I've ever done was the Flying Dutchman. 2 years ago. That was so fun. I loved finding different pieces of clothing and then having to have them match, having them like be the same shade of green. You know, it was tough, but it all came together. I thought it was really fun, and I got a lot of really fun looks from people when I went to the beach that day. So, and then as far as favorite costume across the board, I would say, this might surprise some of you, a good clown. A good vintage clown, which by the way, I used to be terrified of clowns. I used to be absolutely terrified of clowns growing up, but I have since overcome that fear. Clowns can be cute, they can be scary, they can be sexy. That's my opinion. I love the hair, the makeup, the costumes. I love all the different variations that can go into it, especially makeup. I think the makeup of clowns is my favorite. I find it so charming and creepy. I don't know. I love a good clown. What is one activity or experience that is on your spooky season bucket list this year? This year I'm gonna have a 6-month-old. Okay, maybe I should say then dressing him up for Halloween is gonna be really fun. Whatever he wants, of course. If he wants to be a broom, he's gonna be the coolest looking broom ever. Aww. Besides dressing up my child, I would say I really want to go to New Orleans one year. I've heard it's incredible during Halloween. It's an incredible place to begin with, but I've heard it's really fun during Halloween. And I think the South in general, because I also really want to go to Savannah, Georgia. So I think a Southern trip for Halloween would be fun to mix up the Salem, New England trip. What book, series, or movie screams Halloween to you? Well, for book, I love a good witch story. I would have to say with books or movies in general, anything that's set in like the Pilgrim era, like 1600s. I'm obsessed with that time period. I just, gimme more. Obviously I loved The Witch for that reason, but I am currently reading Slewfoot, which a lot of people were obsessing over. I actually saw it in Barnes & Noble way before it was like huge, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then I saw the online hysteria over it, and it's amazing. It's incredible. So I would say 1600s, New England, witches, pilgrims, that kind of stuff. I freaking love it. And then when it comes to movies, I would say, besides The Witch, I guess, I would say The Blair Witch, because it's my favorite movie. I look forward to watching it every year during Halloween. It's spooky. It's in the woods. The woods is like my absolute favorite setting for a scary movie. And then on the opposite spectrum of that, I maybe would say Death Becomes Her, because that movie is so fun. Like, Halloween to me is really creepy, really scary, bothersome horror, and then like fun, colorful comedy, and that's Death Becomes Her. It's so fun. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? And then a series, I am so sorry, please do not judge me, but I would have to say Vampire Diaries. Okay, hear me out. It's been a tradition. It's just been a tradition of mine. Every time I step outside in August and there's a chill in the air and a leaf falls from a tree, I go, it is time. And I turn on Vampire Diaries. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. Take me on the journey, Stefan. That's how my husband pronounces it. He's like, oh, what is Stefan doing now? And I'm like, it's Stefan. Whatever. He just does it to annoy me. But Vampire Diaries for sure. And then on the good side, I mean, even though Vampire Diaries is good, I don't care what anyone says. On the actually arguably good scale, I would say Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass. That was really good. So I think those two series are really great, and I would love more like those. How do you typically spend your Halloween night? Handing out candy. I am fortunate enough to live in an area where there are kids galore. Trunk or treat who? Who is she? We don't know her. She's not allowed in this neighborhood. The kids in my neighborhood love trick-or-treating. We got like 300 kids last year. It was insane. And then once that peters out, which is like 9:30, watching a scary movie and having popcorn and falling asleep. But this year, I'm curious to see how it's gonna go this year with our little bean. I don't know. I'll let you know how it goes. And lastly, what does Halloween mean to you? Halloween is like life. That's what I was gonna say. But it's true. Like, I don't know. Halloween is togetherness. I love when this time of year comes around because I feel like-minded people are just kind of coming together, and we're all like giggling and talking about Halloween decor, what we're decorating, what costumes we're doing. So it just kind of brings like-minded people together. I also feel like it's just an extra magical time of year. There's just magic in the air. The decorating, the costumes, the decor, the themed treats. And so when I see all those things that I love, I naturally feel more creative too. All I want to do during that time of year is create. Just crafting the crap out of everything. Creativity, togetherness, magic, and there's nothing like it. And I'm always sad when it leaves, but then you just count down for it to come back, and you get to rest and brainstorm the ideas for next year. So, well, you guys, that is the Halloween tag. I have been recording long enough. I think I need to go see if my husband is okay. He was a terror. I'm not kidding. He was a little terror tonight. Well, I haven't heard anything, so that's a good sign. So that was the Halloween tag, halfway to Halloween. I'm so excited for this year. I cannot wait to see what's coming out, even if I'm not buying it. And not even just decor, but movies, shows, food, just all of it. I'm so excited. I'm also really upset that I can't be at Dark Universe right now, because that would be that would be what I would do this Halloween for certain. Have any of you gone? If you have, please tell me about it in the comments. I'm so jealous of you. Thank you so much for watching my video. It's gonna be Halloween hunting before you know it. We're gonna be bopping around, checking out the stores. So get excited for that. And I love you all, my cute and creepy friends, and I will see you in my next video, which I promise will not be 2 months from now. I promise.